Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, first open back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, it's been a lost first month of the season, that's for sure, as they come in with an 0-4 record.
And the window's not shut on them, though. They still have a chance to make something out of this season, but it has to start right now.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers. And this is caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Bryant will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Ito Smith, his first carry. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
As a DN, when you play the run, you don't always have to make the tackle. Just have to use the right technique to make sure the play goes where you want it to. And in this case, did an excellent job stringing this one out and making the tackle at the end of it.
And for a loss. Here's Ryan. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On second down, Winston again. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Winston from the gun on third down. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Second down, Winston. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now one in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys.
Defense.
Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Play action now. Winston. Over the middle, complete. It's Howard. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A nice gain of 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They go play action here on 1st down. And they drop it for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty is going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And this will be incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll try to run it in with Jones. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front? Give him at least a stalemate in order to find that space.
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't it? This will be taken in after 1. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Again, Ryan. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
he'll gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
A 1st down throw for Winston. And escapes, and with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. After the penalty, it's Jones. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
3rd and long for Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it.
Well, partner, they run empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now Jones. And 3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Ready. Blue ready.
A second down throw for Winston. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. The third down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
The 20! And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now it's Ryan. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 30. 10, and it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. "13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. Back to the air, Ryan after the pick six. Looking downfield for Jones. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And now it's second down. Let's go. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
22.
Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
23 yards on the play. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short game.
To throw is Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On third down, Ryan. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collect. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Vinny Curry in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you're talking about the ends, they're your pass rushers.
And the pressure gets to him again. Vinny Curry in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Throwing on third and long. Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even
looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. After the interception, here's Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On second down, here's Ryan. His straight caught on the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up first and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here we go now with Smith. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
They'll try and run. Freeman. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Another stop on third down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And Bryant's kick is good. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So his third field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Looking left side, he's got a man. That's Barton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do?
And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Adam Humphries, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Point after now from Catanzaro. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And here now come the Falcons. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now Ryan. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
21.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Looking deep for who? It's caught inside the 25. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons cut into that lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Jameis to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And they'll run it here. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out. All right, zero rooting interest in it, but that one hurt.
Well, yeah, you're losing in the 4th quarter. A bad time for a fumble on a punt return.
They had an opportunity. All right, they were sensing. They're down on the scoreboard, and now they just gave that one up.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, you had the punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well.
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Noah Spence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit him with a screen soon.
He's going to let it fly. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. And now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Here's Ryan to throw. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And on the ground they go with a running back. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Here's Ryan. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards on the play. From midfield now, here's Ryan. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Now it's Ryan. He's going to let it fly, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Calvin Ridley, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And the Bucs are on this one. And that should just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for our visitors, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.